Welcome back, everyone, to Pikmin 3. Last time, we continued the Formidable Oak and escorted Olimar throughout the entirety of that tree trunk, or tree stump, and initiated the final boss sequence. In this part, if all goes well, this will be the finale to Pikmin 3, as all we have left to do is defeat that weird turkey thing called the Plasm Wraith. But before we head in there, I want to give a little bit of knowledge, or not knowledge, a little bit of trivia, I guess, is that the Plasm Wraith is not the first thing called a Wraith in the Pikmin series. There is another being present in Pikmin 2 called the Water Wraith. That thing is a nightmare. But I think it's led to believe that they are from the same species, considering they are liquids, sentient liquids. I don't know. If there's like a closer connection I can find online, or a more descriptive connection, I'll put it up on screen. But yeah, that thing has a family. And before we go into the Formidable Oak, let's check in with the captains one last time. The weird thing absorbed Olimar. Why isn't it targeting anyone else? We'll have time for questions later. And if not, fine. If we want to save Olimar, we must defeat that thing. Also, I think it's the first time where I've ever seen Louie and the rubber duck in the same frame. Agreed. Let's go kick some blob. Louie, I love the position you were in. Like, why were you center screen with that? Well, there's nothing else left than to kill that thing. And as you can clearly see, the Plasm Wraith is already in the arena. Once you get Olimar to the arena, the Plasm Wraith will no longer spawn back atop of the tree trunk or stump, along with Olimar. Olimar is still inside of that thing, and it's our job to get it out. I was scratching my nose. We have a straggler! Everybody juice up! Oh, that's gonna be the crystal. It's not. Okay, it's just water. It's just water. It also ate some Pikmin. Destroy its crystal. Oh, I got so lucky that it didn't swallow it back up. Okay, it's more water. It's more water. It's fine. Why were you guys over there? Okay, just knock the rock. No, circle back to the blues. Get away from it. You guys are in charge of breaking all that. Everybody get back. Get back. Come on. We gotta defeat this turkey thing. Charge up again. Attack its belly. Oh, it's bad depending on which one it is. Charlie! Okay, now it's a fire one. Charlie, stop having a seizure! I need you! Call everyone back. Okay, which one is this one gonna be? More water? Okay, good, more water. Get away from it! Destroy that thing! Everybody come back. The deadliest one of these things is the crystal. If this thing lands on any Pikmin that aren't rocks, they're instantly dead. Okay, no, where's my rocks? Not the captains! Oh, we took too long. But it's less than half. Oh, we knocked the data file out of it. Which one is this one gonna be? The electricity! Uh-oh. Oh, it's just sucking it back in. What does this data file say? Oh, that's a bit of a spoiler. But yeah, when it gets too damaged, if it ever does it. There's a rock all the way over here. Okay, fire. No, I threw it. Oh, that was just in time. Brittany, stop running! Okay, it's taking flight. It doesn't grow wings, it just starts levitating, and it could do that this entire time. Then why didn't it take Olimar back to the top of the tree? Send the wing! Oh, Alf got launched. Take it down! I didn't know you could bring it down to Earth! It's almost dead, and we're losing a lot of men! Back away from it. It's sending out 3 of its elemental things. Oh, well, I grabbed the blue. Break this thing. We're almost done with it. Oh, so close. We're almost out of juice. But we're not out of men. Bring it down! Bring it down! Look at them go! Get away from it in case it's the Chris. Oh, it's just water. We're losing men! Brittany, seduce him! Look at this thing. It's so tiny now. Harass him! And there we go. The turkey is dead.
Voilà. Nou, yaptı. Olimar. 나는 누스스는 스스로를. 야마카테스 이름부터 소화레기로. 나는 누스스를 스스. 미화테스테네 소호.
호대 슈거 떨어.
오스파. 누가 너네 주변?
وافترضت صن ياش تشوسن كباي خانم بركرن كبت ترى
쯔 한물.
갑단 얼마? 아스이 드라이 왔더니 그 따뜻 땀땀을 따라 영몸 갑을 왜? 또 여기 몬타파티 와이티 몬티크 때문에 오하 네.
شاك باب بيكمين نورن البيربي هير مون تيفتا
피크민. 가. 부탁해. 좀.
나 맞다 또
고휴무 쏙 메카노구만 라.
wiiu letsplay. Interesting.
Как профе, что все сидит пакти. Пакти гиба.
And so the intrepid explorers successfully complete their mission. After securing a bountiful supply of edible matter and learning the valuable lessons of planning and teamwork, the explorers are set to become the saviors of their home planet. Under their guidance, the seeds they've recovered will be used to kick off a sustainable cycle of cultivation and harvesting, thus bringing new life to Kopai. However, one question remains. What was the cause of the accident that sent the SS Drake hurtling to PNF 404 surface? Perhaps it wasn't an accident after all.
And with that, that completes Pikmin 3 on Nintendo Wii U. So when it comes to my thoughts of this game, I think this is probably the best Pikmin game to get into, if you're not going to start at Pikmin 1. Now, the day I'm recording this, it's the same day where Pikmin 1 and 2 just got ported to Switch. So you can play either Pikmin 1, 2, or 3, and Pikmin 4 has yet to be released. It's still about a month away. But I think Pikmin 3 is the easiest out of the 3 games, and so I think it's a very good starting point if you're not going to start at 1. And the thing is, if you are worried about missing any story beats for not having the previous 2 games, you don't really need to play the previous 2 games to understand Pikmin 3. And a nice little thing is that in order you can play these in is Pikmin 3, then 1 and 2, because since the Kopaiets take Olimar and Louis home, on that space ride home it could just be Olimar telling his adventures from Pikmin 1 and 2. So yeah, you play Pikmin 3 first, and then 1 and 2 is his retelling, which I find a little neat. I think I'll just let this scene play out. And our final report. Let's see, did I go over 200 with those final deaths in the final battle? No! I went over by 8! Who suffered the most, though? The Reds. Oh my lord, they all suffered. They all suffered dearly. Oh, let's see. Where does this rank? I mean, oh, this was my fastest time. Wait a second, how did I take 49 days? That was probably like the first time I played the game. No, this is my fastest, or no, this is not my fastest time. There's one I took 6 hours? Okay, this is confusing. There is global rankings, but I disconnected my Wii U from the internet, so let's just go on. Before we end the part, we're not going to end the part for a while, because I want to also talk about what else this game has to offer. But just before that, for the ending of the game, where the text rolls on the screen after you've just rescued Olimar for the final time and he's on your ship and you're all about to go home, there are 2 endings to this game. And the only thing that changes is that text box. The only way to get the other ending is if you don't get every fruit. It's just gonna slightly change the text, as in it says that they're hopeful that they can save Kopai with the amount of fruit they're bringing back home. And then at the end you saw a teaser for what was for Pikmin 4, but I'll get to that later. So what else does this game have to offer? First, there is Bingo Battle. This is a competitive multiplayer mode, where you and somebody else fight. But not just honestly fighting. So you're going to be given a board, and these are the things you have to bring back to base. And when you make a line, I think, is it the first line to win? Complete one line in any direction to win. So yeah, you complete one line, but a lot of things can happen. There's power-ups that can shuffle your board. They can clear an item off the map, for example. It's like this butterfly. If the other player takes all the butterflies from the map, then you can't grab that anymore, which is pretty neat. And you can do this with, I think it's only up to 2 players, but each player can control up to 2 captains. But the 100 Pikmin on the field limit stays the same, so each team can have at max 50 Pikmin. I've played the mode before. I think it's actually really fun. But the main side modes that Pikmin 3 has to offer is the mission modes. Now here there are 3. Let's start with defeat bosses. Once you defeat any boss in the game, the moment you defeat them, you'll unlock them in the defeat bosses mode, so you can take on any of the main 6 bosses in the game without having to replay the story, which is pretty neat. They will give you a set amount of Pikmin. For example, if you fight the Armored Monad, you're given a time limit, and you're only restricted to red and rock Pikmin, which is what you had at that point in time in the game. And now we also have collect treasure and battle enemies. So collect treasure is that you have to clear all the treasure, collect as much treasure in the given course, and see how high you can score. Same thing with enemies, but this is how many enemies can you defeat before the time runs out. As you can tell, I don't really play this mode, and if you're wondering what these are, I'll go back to collect treasure. These 8 missions that I'm circling around right now, all these are DLC. These first 2 are as well, but these 8 are paid DLC. These 2 are free. So this game got 2 waves of DLC, which is this first row and the second row. And the levels they provide are actually really fun. Now, if you do get Pikmin 3 on Wii U now, you aren't going to be able to play this unless, I don't know, you hack it in. I don't know, but legally you can't, because the eShop is down. You cannot buy the DLC packs, but if you can still update the game, you will be getting these 2 for free. And this one, the Fortress of Festivity, is my personal favorite because it's Christmas themed, but also look at this. The white and purple Pikmin from Pikmin 2 are here. these two types of Pikmin are only available in the mission mode. So you get to mess around with these guys. And yeah, this is the only stage that has all 7 types of Pikmin. So this is why it's my favorite. And every single mission or challenge mode, whatever, you can play in co-op up to 2 players. It will be split screen, and you will have to share the gamepad to send captains, because I think at some of these you can control 4 captains. I'm not sure on that, but these are fun challenges. I like to come back to these, especially on Pikmin 3 Deluxe. So there's that, more content. Now, there is one thing I have eluded that I have not mentioned yet throughout the whole Let's Play, and it's those secret files where when you pick them up, it's just a number. Those are very odd, because when this game came out, Miiverse was still active, and so what happens when you collect all the secret files? So when you look at them, when you put them together, they make a code. They make a numbered code. And what are you supposed to use that code with? At the time, if you go on Miiverse on the Pikmin 3 boards and find a pinned post, or a specific post by, I think, Shigeru Miyamoto himself, since he is the creator of Pikmin, it will lead you to a link on the Wii U's web browser. And once you input the code, I think you input the code once you're at the web browser, but once you input the code, you will get a special video at random. And these videos are Olimar's, I want to say, introductions? Not really. It's short videos of Olimar as he was on the planet before the Kopayets crash land and before he got kidnapped. I think there's a total of 5, but you will only get 1 per playthrough. So if you want to get the other ones by yourself, you have to beat this game several times. If I'm correct, you have to beat this game several times and get lucky that you got the correct codes. Honestly, it's just easier to look them up on YouTube. It was easier to look them up on YouTube back then, but there is an alternative to that. But instead of telling you that alternative, how about I just show you? What better way to show off the differences in these games than to show off the other version? On Pikmin 3 Deluxe, when you press start, you can see there's a new option in the main menu, Side Stories. And it says, meanwhile, a certain duo is hard at work on an important mission. It's the story happening behind the story. So what are these? Well, if we select them, you see we have Olimar's Assignment, which serves as the prequel to Pikmin 3, and then Olimar's Comeback, which serves as the epilogue to Pikmin 3. And when you go to Olimar's Assignment, these are pretty much challenge missions for both the prequel and the epilogue. But those Miiverse videos that you had to do all that clicking links and such to get to one video only, they're now repurposed into serving as the openings to each mission, so you get to see them all. And that's pretty nice, honestly. It makes things easier, makes things simpler. You don't have to go through all those links again. But then what is Olimar's Comeback? These are 10 challenges, but what happens? This is where some of my gripes start to come in to Pikmin 3 Deluxe in specific. Remember that red and white rocket ship that we encountered that Louis almost got away in? That I called the SS Hocotate? So I was saddened when I first found that out, because that ship was pretty much out of commission. They state that in the game. So it's almost like we lost a Pikmin character in the canon. So I thought it was pretty cool, honestly, that it would take that route. But this epilogue undoes that. So what happens is that the president of Hocotate Freight just sends Olimar back with Louis to go retrieve the spaceship, and each challenge is you bringing back spaceship parts to the spaceship, and in the end you just return home. There are exclusive cutscenes in Olimar's comeback, so that I'm not going to show, but I mean, well, one other thing that bothers me is that the epilogue repurposes that tease at the end of the story mode. At the end of the credits, that little rocket that comes down to Earth, which you would think is a teaser for Pikmin 4, is now repurposed into the epilogue. That's now Olimar crashing back on PNF 404 to retrieve his ship. But I mean, does it matter if Pikmin 4 is a month away? But anyways, let's go into more detail onto some of the differences here. Starting off with the story. A big selling point to Pikmin 3 Deluxe is now you can take on the story mode with 2 players. This mode is exclusive to Pikmin 3 Deluxe. There is multiplayer in the Wii U version, as I already went over, but nothing for the story mode. This alone made me buy Pikmin 3 Deluxe. But let's go even further. Another difference is that you have save files. Very interesting. But I had mentioned that Pikmin 3 is the easiest of the Pikmin games. And this is prior to Pikmin 4. I don't know how easy that game is. So what does Pikmin 3 Deluxe introduce? Difficulties. And it's kind of weird because hard mode is pretty much the same difficulty as Pikmin 3 on Wii U. So normal is easy, hard is normal, and then ultra spicy is hard. And ultra spicy is locked when you start this game for the first time. You have to beat the game at least once to unlock ultra spicy. And what's the difference between ultra spicy? Your Pikmin limit on the field is reduced to 60, and each piece of fruit gives you less juice. Personally, I would have loved to have harder enemies on the map, but it's still a hard challenge. I have not attempted it, but it is still a challenge. But let's actually go into the game. Here we are in the Garden of Hope, because I do want to show something off in this region specifically, but as you can see, we have a mini-map now. And we have hints in case you're stuck. You guys can finally see the map now, since I'm no longer restricted by the gamepad. This is how the map of the regions looked like this whole time. And this is a bit of a spoiler. And most importantly, is there's another file here. So in Pikmin 3 on Wii U, all you had is the map, the exploration notes, the fruit files, Pikmin info, and the camera. Here there is now the Piklopedia, which is a staple from the series that was missing on the Wii U version. And now you get to see data on every single enemy you've encountered throughout the game. And what's more interesting about it is that each captain, including Olimar and Louis, have something to say about these enemies. And you have stats, and I think the funniest thing is Louis, because he just talks about how to cook them. This man is a menace. If you played Pikmin 2, you know why. But while I get to where I'm trying to get at... Oh yes, before that. The Y button now becomes a little sub-menu. And now you don't have to do that cycle to switch to captains if they're all split up, which is very much appreciated. But the main thing I want to talk about is this area as a whole. So, I think that this section, or I think there's during the development of Pikmin 3, there was supposed to be an entirely new region where you were supposed to find the blue Pikmin. And for one reason or another, it just got repurposed to this second half of the Garden of Hope. We were not supposed to have this. We were not supposed to have 2 Pikmin types in one region. But that's how it ended up panning out. What was the last thing here I want to show you? Both in Pikmin 3 Wii U and Pikmin 3 Deluxe, after defeating the Quaggled Meyerclops and coming back days later, the corpse sprouts pellets. If I remember correctly, there's supposed to be a big pellet in the center, and it's depending on how many days you leave it here. But it's still a nice little touch. And this is the character that gets revived in the epilogue, which, I mean, I guess it doesn't hurt to keep a character alive. But anyways, let's go back to the menu so I can discuss my final thoughts on the game. A quick side note, one thing I completely forgot to mention is that the last addition into Pikmin 3 Deluxe are badges. And what are these? These are pretty much achievements. Similar to the PlayStation trophy system or the Xbox achievement system, is you'll get these when you meet certain criteria. So you'll get a lot of these just for playing the story, some of these for doing certain tasks, and so forth. I have not grabbed all of them. But these are nice things another thing to keep you busy at this game. To keep you coming back. Now let's go back to the menu and I can discuss my thoughts. I have beaten Pikmin 3 numerous times, including both the times I've beaten it on Wii U and on Switch. I will say, flat out, this is the easiest Pikmin game, and it's kind of odd because it's almost known for the insane amount of enemies that appear throughout the game, but honestly, those famous, very familiar enemies from the game's past, you only get to see one of, like the Snagret and the Bull Bear. But this is the nicest looking one, first off. It's the first one in HD. And it's the one I spend most of my time with. So this game will hold a special place forever, but the thing is, Pikmin 3 Deluxe is much better. Now, when it comes to... Let me go on a tangent real quick. I want to discuss which version you should get. Most people will most likely not have a Wii U and will only have a Switch. It is 100% not worth it to go source a Wii U to play the Wii U version of this game. Just buy Pikmin 3 Deluxe on Switch if you only have that system. If you have both a Switch and a Wii U, I honestly cannot recommend the Wii U version, as the only saving grace it has, in my opinion, is the better motion controls with the Wii remote and the nunchuck. And it's even worse now because you won't get any of the DLC, the challenge missions, since the eShop is down. So if you've never bought them before, you can't buy them anymore legally. I don't know if you can do it something else, but legally you're not allowed to. And those missions are present on the cartridge for the Switch. You don't have to pay any more money. They're all gonna be here. I didn't have to buy anything else. There is no DLC for Pikmin 3 Deluxe. So honestly, Pikmin 3 Deluxe is the superior version because of multiplayer and the story mode. A lot of quality of life improvements, more accessible. It's now portable with the Switch. So there's almost no reason to go back to Pikmin 3 on Wii U. So with that in mind, that is the only reason why I did Pikmin 3 on Wii U for this Let's Play. It's a bittersweet moment because it's almost my goodbye to the Wii U version. Maybe I'll come back to it later on, but I've been playing Pikmin 3 Deluxe a lot for the challenges, so I don't know when it'll be the next time I play that game, but I've had a lot of fun with it. If you have a Switch and you want to play Pikmin 3, just buy Pikmin 3 Deluxe. If you want to start off with Pikmin 3 Deluxe as your first Pikmin game, there's nothing wrong with it. It is the easiest. But as long as you either start with 3 or 1, do not start with 2. 2 is a nightmare. Do not. And again, Pikmin 4 has yet to come out. I don't know how new series players friendly it is. But I think that's everything I have to say about this game. I do enjoy the game. The game's beautiful. It's relaxing. For the most part, without those accidents. I do recommend the game. Do you really have to give me that warning right now? I went through the whole Let's Play without a Wii U remote failing. And it's the Joy-Con that does it. Great. But if I can't think of anything else to say, then here's to the conclusion of another Let's Play. Thank you all for watching my Let's Play of Pikmin 3. I have more Let's Plays planned for the future. So see you guys then.